I'm Roger Armstrong, and I was born a psychic child in 1930. And I was trained by astral beings, to move things with my mind, picture to animals, and a wide variety of other things that you've seen in the other videos. Now, this segment continues the Roosevelt School story and the developing of a curriculum that I identify now as an ideal Indigo child curriculum. Now, when I ended up with all the students in Mel's math class, and I'm the art teacher challenged by math, Mel and I were very curious as to what were the factors that drew the students to that cloakroom. And so we sat down and made a list of things. Okay. First thing is I challenged them. I gave them a challenge. And I didn't restrict the way they would respond to the challenge. I didn't restrict them with a process. I left it open. All I wanted was the answer. Now, so the first thing Mel and I decided that interest was the biggest thing. The second thing was that my learning involved as many senses as possible. We counted things on our fingers. We used wood blocks. We did all kinds of things. They wrote on the board, like you see Einstein doing, and I would mention that, you know, and they'd work out these long equations. In some ways, without knowing it and without my teaching it, they actually worked out algebraic formulas, which of course astonished me. But anyhow, so kinetic, all the senses being involved, and kinetic sense was the strongest of it. Now, the other thing we decided was that I didn't treat them as students. I wasn't teaching them. Instead, I was treating them, and Mel coined the word, Roger, you treated them like they were clients rather than students. And you were learning alongside them. Now, these were relatively we were being educational heretics. Okay? So we made this, in making this list, so we decided, okay, now, how can we apply this? And Mel said, well, we have the summer school program. Now, normally, normally over the summer, kids will lose anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the student, of learning. So when you start back in September, as a teacher, you go back and you do the last 6 to 8 weeks of school. You repeat it. You do it a little bit faster, but you still have to go over all the material. Mel and I found that not very cost effective. So we were thinking if we could devise a curriculum with our basic principles that we had just outlaid, that we might be able to have the kids start even, or maybe even only lose 2 weeks. So we devised this curriculum based on interest. No grade levels, no age classifications, no gender requirements. We worked with 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grades, all in a group, a homogeneous group, I guess would be the word. When we structured it this way, the kids would meet in homeroom so we could take attendance. From there, everyone would go to the gymnasium and we would outline the classes that were being offered that morning. You go to one class, the class would last for 3 hours. Have lunch, come back to the gym, select your next class you'd like to go to for another 2.5 hours. Go back to your homeroom, write in your journal what you had done that day and what questions you wanted to ask tomorrow, and you'd go home. Now, the stroke of genius, we decided, was the journal. Because when the kids went home and their parents said, "What did you do today?" Instead of saying, "Oh, I don't know," they would say, "I did this and this and this and this, and we did this, and tomorrow we're going to do this, this, and this." And the parents were astonished at the enthusiasm that the kids had. Now, the upshot of the program was that over our summer, our roughly 50 days of summer school, kids jumped anywhere from 15 to 30 points in IQ. They jumped anywhere from 2 to 5 grade levels. It was astonishing. It was so astonishing that the elementary education department said that our work was so controversial that it shouldn't be continued. And so the program was shut down. Roosevelt School was closed, and I moved on to college teaching.